Just off the coast of Belize lies an immense underwater sinkhole known as the Great Blue Hole. Plummeting 125 meters into the Earth's crust, it has beckoned adventurers for years. While many have explored its surface, only a brave few have delved into its depths, venturing beyond the darkness that envelops its lower reaches. In the winter of 2018, a team from Aquatica Submarines embarked on a groundbreaking mission to descend to the bottom of the Blue Hole. What were they hoping to achieve? What mysteries awaited them in the abyss? Prepare to be amazed as we uncover the astonishing discoveries made by this daring expedition, discoveries that have sent shockwaves around the globe. The Aquatica Submarine's crew's primary objective was to produce a detailed 3D map of the sinkhole's interior. Yet, as they journeyed deeper into the abyss, they encountered a host of fascinating and sometimes eerie phenomena. Initially, the crew encountered familiar sights: reef sharks, graceful turtles, and majestic corals. However, as they descended to around 90 meters, life began to dwindle, and an eerie emptiness settled around them. The culprit behind this eerie scene was a dense layer of toxic hydrogen sulfide spreading across the entire expanse of the sinkhole like a sinister shroud. Beneath this lethal barrier, a desolate landscape devoid of oxygen and life awaited, where unfortunate conch shells, and hermit crabs had met their suffocating demise after tumbling into the abyss. Descending past this grim conch graveyard and nearing the bottom of the hole, approximately 120 meters down, the team stumbled upon an unexpected discovery: tiny stalactites. This revelation provided scientists with valuable insights into the ancient history of the Blue Hole. Stalactites form only when water seeps down a solid surface, suggesting that this vast cavity was once a colossal arid cavern teeming with life. It likely flourished during a period of abundant biodiversity on Earth. Scientists speculate that the cave took shape during the waning stages of the last ice age, roughly 14,000 years ago. As the ice melted and sea levels surged, the cave became submerged, eventually collapsing to create the iconic blue hole we know today. Interestingly, similar marine sinkholes, such as the Dragon Hole in the South China Sea and Dean's Blue Hole in the Bahamas, are believed to have undergone comparable formation processes, further illustrating the profound geological forces at play across the world's oceans. As the scientists delved deeper into the depths of the hole, they stumbled upon yet another fascinating clue from the past: a delicate layer of silt resting atop the conch graveyard. This accumulation of silt serves as a remarkable archive, preserving a chronological record of various natural phenomena such as hurricanes, storm cycles, and glaciations that have shaped the region's history. Interestingly, evidence suggests that during the period coinciding with the collapse of the Mayan civilization, the area experienced severe droughts following intense storm activity. Continuing their exploration of the hole's bottom, the team made some unexpected discoveries, including a 2-liter Coca-Cola bottle and a misplaced GoPro camera containing vacation snapshots. However, their findings took a somber turn when they encountered the remains of 2 individuals, likely among the 3 who had tragically perished in the Blue Hole. Treating the site with utmost respect, they promptly notified the Belize government of their discovery. Despite the eerie darkness that envelops the depths, the scientists remarked on the tranquil and serene atmosphere prevailing there. Looking ahead, scientists speculate that the Blue Hole's existence as an exploration site may be finite. Each day, cascades of sand pour into its depths, gradually filling it like an underwater hourglass. While it endures, we have the opportunity to marvel at its breathtaking beauty and unravel its many enigmatic secrets. Did you know there are some incredibly intriguing facts about the Belize Blue Hole? Let's uncover them. Uncovering the secrets of the Belize. Great Blue Hole hidden from the world until Belizean fishermen stumbled upon it. The Belize Blue Hole gained widespread recognition in 1971 when renowned marine biologist and deep-sea explorer Jacques Cousteau embarked on an expedition to its depths. Aboard the vessel Calypso, Cousteau and his team plumbed the depths of the Blue Hole, confirming its ancient origins as a submerged cave network inundated by rising sea levels. Cousteau hailed it as one of the planet's top 10 diving destinations, situating approximately 60 miles, or 100 kilometers, from the Belizean coastline. Enveloping the Blue Hole is the Lighthouse Reef Atoll, serving as a gateway for divers venturing into the submerged caverns adorned with stalactites and stalagmites, some reaching up to 40 feet or 12 meters in length. The coral atoll encircling the Belize Blue Hole features an inner ring of shallow, lighter-hued waters, forming a natural border around the deeper, sapphire-colored depths of the flooded cave. Millennia ago, the cave's inundation gave birth to the Belize Blue Hole, characterized by a colossal vertical entrance spanning over 980 feet, or 300 meters, in diameter, with its bottom plunging more than 400 feet, or 125 meters, below the ocean's surface. As divers descend into its abyss, the murky waters gradually clear, revealing a mesmerizing vista of the submerged cave system teeming with diverse marine life, including the occasional elusive hammerhead shark. Given the intricacy and depth of the dive, only seasoned divers are permitted to explore the captivating underwater formations that render the Belize Blue Hole an unparalleled diving destination. The Blue Hole rests adjacent to the Belize Barrier Reef, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and part of the world's second-largest barrier reef system. This remarkable geological marvel presents itself as an almost perfectly circular expanse of deep topaz water, encircled by the Lighthouse Atoll within the Belize Barrier Reef. Captivating and sought-after diving destinations on our planet. Originating at the conclusion of the last ice age, the Blue Hole owes its formation to the gradual inundation of colossal caverns by rising sea levels. Geologists estimate that these caverns began shaping approximately 153,000 years ago, ultimately succumbing to complete submersion around 15,000 years ago. Within its mysterious depths, the Blue Hole harbors various shark species, including bull sharks, Caribbean reef sharks, and the enigmatic hammerhead shark. In 2012, the Discovery Channel bestowed upon the Blue Hole the prestigious title of the #1 most amazing place on Earth. Its distinctive circular shape and location within the vast expanse of the Belize Barrier Reef render it unmistakable even when viewed from space. The moniker Blue Hole was coined by British diver Ned Middleton in his 1988 publication, 10 Years Underwater. Owing to the advanced skills required for diving, access to the Blue Hole is limited strictly to experienced divers who must have completed a minimum of 24 dives. Among the various blue holes around the world, the Blue Hole located in the Red Sea, situated within Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, stands out as unquestionably the most perilous. This reputation is underscored by a series of harrowing incidents that have occurred here. Tarek Omar, known professionally as a technical diver and instructor, has earned informal monikers such as the Bone Collector and the Gravekeeper due to his involvement in managing the tragedies that have unfolded at the Blue Hole in the Sinai Peninsula. Despite being one of the most sought-after dive sites globally, catering to both novice and seasoned divers, the Blue Hole is also notorious as the deadliest dive spot on Earth. Though estimates vary, it is believed that at least 130 individuals have tragically lost their lives while exploring its depths, with some projections suggesting the toll could surpass 200. However, due to the absence of official records, the exact figure remains uncertain and may potentially be higher. Since the late 1990s, Tarek has played a central role in the majority, if not all, of the recovery missions conducted at the site. After 2 decades of undertaking these grim tasks, he has lost track of the exact number of recoveries, recalling only the names of the first 2 individuals he retrieved shortly after arriving in the nearby city. The individuals were Martin Gara and Connor O'Regan. In 1997, Martin embarked on a journey from Ireland to Egypt, intending to spend the year as a dive instructor, exploring the remarkable dive sites the region had to offer. Midway through his stay, his friend Connor joined him, eager to share in the adventure for the remainder of the year. Connor, nearing the completion of his own instructor certification, boasted considerable diving experience alongside Martin. Renowned for their meticulous approach to diving, both men were highly regarded by those who knew them. Moreover, their shared passion for diving fueled aspirations beyond their current excursion, as they envisioned establishing a travel agency specializing in overseas dive tours upon their return to Ireland. In November of that year, approximately a month before their scheduled departure, Martin and Connor embarked on a visit to the renowned Blue Hole dive site for a diving expedition. This excursion was part of a larger trip organized by PADI, the Professional Association of Diving Instructors, attracting other seasoned divers from around the globe. However, during the dive, Martin and Connor became separated from the rest of the group, finding themselves alone in the depths. In an unfortunate turn of events, they inadvertently descended to depths beyond the limits of their gas mixture, resulting in loss of consciousness. This led to the dislodging of their regulators, causing them to sink to a depth of 65 meters, or approximately 213 feet. The realization dawned on the other divers only upon resurfacing, as the two men failed to return at the scheduled time. Promptly, divers descended once more to search for them, yet tragically their discovery came too late. Their fate echoes that of numerous others who have ventured into the Blue Hole, skilled and cautious divers descending into its depths, only to vanish without a trace upon their ascent. The mystery surrounding the Blue Hole's deadly reputation prompts inquiries into the factors contributing to its perilous nature. To unravel this enigma, it's essential to grasp the precise nature of a blue hole. During the epochs of past ice ages, sea levels plummeted to levels as much as 100 meters, or 330 feet, below their present height. Consequently, vast expanses of the Earth's land masses emerged from the water, exposing numerous surface caves and sinkholes. Over time, rainfall eroded these surface formations, as is typical with limestone structures. However, as sea levels surged, the erosive effect intensified, compounded by the corrosive influence of saline seawater cascading over the rocks. Numerous surface caves underwent subsequent collapse, transforming into expansive circular voids visible beneath the water's surface, effectively becoming vertical caverns. What adds to their intrigue is the composition of their outer rims, constructed from various rock types that resist dissolution, unlike the inner areas. Within the confines of this stable rim, these holes can plunge dramatically to depths far surpassing the surrounding seabed. The renowned Great Blue Hole off the coast of Belize serves as a prime illustration of this phenomenon. While the perimeter of the hole extends merely 10 meters, or 33 feet, beneath the surface, its descent beyond the edge is virtually vertical, plummeting to depths of 124 meters, or 407 feet, in a single uninterrupted drop. This significant disparity in depth creates a mesmerizing visual contrast observable from the surface. Vibrant blue tropical waters encircling the periphery, transitioning into a profound, dark blue hue reminiscent of the open ocean at the center. Moreover, this variance in depth profoundly impacts water circulation within these sinkholes, particularly as depth increases. In fact, many of these blue holes' floors are entirely devoid of oxygen, resulting in an eerie desolation devoid of marine life. Coupled with their considerable depth and absence of light, these submerged voids evoke a sense of a peculiar and barren realm, distinct from the teeming life found in the surrounding waters. Nevertheless, these blue holes are scattered across the globe, offering diverse, distinctive, and unparalleled diving conditions. Typically isolated from the surrounding waters, they often lack strong currents, alleviating a concern for divers. Moreover, Some of these sites lie remarkably close to shorelines, allowing individuals to transition from sandy beaches to depths of hundreds of feet within mere steps. This accessibility and proximity contribute significantly to their popularity among scuba divers and freedivers alike. However, despite this wealth of information, the precise reasons behind the inherent danger of these dive sites, particularly the one near Dahab, remain elusive. Regrettably, there is no definitive answer to this query. In fact, it's unclear whether this specific site is inherently more perilous than others. With no official records documenting the number of dives undertaken or the corresponding fatalities, comparisons with the average fatality rate in diving are impossible. The elevated fatality count could stem from heightened danger, or it might simply be a result of the sheer volume of dives conducted at the location. Regardless of the circumstances, surprisingly, this doesn't deter people in the slightest from visiting. In fact, it seems to have the opposite effect. Part of the allure lies in its ominous reputation as a place of beauty tinged with danger. Along the shore, a memorial stands in remembrance of divers who lost their lives in the hole. Almost morbidly, prospective divers often pause to observe these plaques before venturing into the water, hoping to avoid meeting the same fate as individuals like Martin and Connor. The harsh reality is that those who have been recovered represent only a fraction of those who never resurfaced. Given the hole's vast size and depth, some individuals may remain undiscovered for extended periods. In such cases, recovery efforts are often deemed futile due to the advanced decomposition that occurs. Adding to the morbidity, divers sometimes capture lost individuals' equipment in their videos, inadvertently serving as eerie reminders of those who never returned. One plausible explanation for the peril of the Dahab hole may lie in its unique shape. As one descends, the walls gradually narrow like a funnel, potentially exacerbating the dangers faced by divers as they venture deeper. On the opposite side of the hole lies a sizable arch, positioned at a depth of 52 meters, or approximately 170 feet. This arch leads into a tunnel extending another 26 meters, or about 85 feet, diagonally downward until it breaches the hole's wall, opening into the vast expanse of the open ocean. From there, the depth plummets rapidly, starting from 120 meters, or 390 feet, at the tunnel's exit and descending all the way to 800 meters, or roughly 2,600 feet. While there are intermediate levels between these depths, this final drop marks the ocean floor. Only technical diving, utilizing specialized equipment and gas mixtures, is feasible for navigating these deeper sections, as regular air becomes hazardous at such extreme depths. It's conceivable that the hole's perilous nature stems from this very characteristic. The abrupt transition from the surface may facilitate unwittingly rapid descents for divers using regular air, leading to a state of nitrogen narcosis that can impair judgment and result in loss of consciousness. However, it's not solely divers utilizing regular air who have met unfortunate fates there. For instance, in 2011, an experienced diver named Igor planned a technical dive to 150 meters, approximately 50 meters above the true depth of the hole. With 400 dives under his belt, Igor entered the waters of the Blue Hole that day, fully prepared for the endeavor. He commenced his descent into the arch at 50 meters, passing another diver at 90 meters who noted Igor's apparent instability. Despite this, Igor reassured him with a gesture indicating he was fine. Continuing downward, he reached 120 meters and ultimately reached the deepest point he had ever explored at 150 meters. However, upon landing roughly on a ledge at this depth, his ascent took a perilous turn. At 130 meters, Igor began to gasp, quickly escalating into a state of panic. In a moment of sheer terror, he shot to the surface without making any decompression stops, a frightening decision considering the depth he had reached. The dissolved gases in his bloodstream, compressed under extreme pressure at depth, expanded rapidly during his ascent. By the time he broke the surface, they would have caused excruciating pain and potentially blocked blood vessels throughout his body. As his head emerged from the water, he cried out in agony, succumbing to his injuries mere minutes later. Igor would be one diver Tarek wouldn't need to retrieve. Despite stringent regulations in the area, financial incentives often hold sway, contributing to the inherent dangers of the hole. While many dive shops are licensed, some operate without proper authorization. Moreover, stiff competition drives down the cost per dive, leading some instructors and guides to flout rules and regulations in pursuit of extra income. This situation may lead to inadequate conditions for novice divers. Therefore, it's advisable that individuals who utilize these services, at the very least, accompany someone who possesses proper training and experience. The most notable incident at the Blue Hole. In April of 2000, Yuri Lipsky arrived in Dahab with the intention of exploring the diverse diving sites in the area. Bringing along his scuba equipment, Yuri, a scuba diving instructor, had traveled to Dahab after visiting a friend in the nearby city of Tel Aviv. Like many divers, Yuri had harbored a long-standing aspiration to explore the Blue Hole. Despite a prescient warning from his father to avoid reckless endeavors, Yuri sought companionship for his dive. Within hours of arriving in the city, he traversed the streets lined with numerous dive shops, inquiring about available services and seeking a diving partner. Onlookers observed Yuri's persistent quest as he wandered back and forth, exploring various options. Eventually, he found a local individual willing to accompany him. Soon after, the pair arrived at the dive site and entered the water. During Yuri's dive, he recorded a video capturing his surroundings. The footage commenced with Yuri near the water's surface, surrounded by fellow divers, vibrant coral reefs, and aquatic life in the clear azure water. He briefly adjusted the camera before descending, possibly securing it with a protective lens cover in anticipation of pressure changes. He continued to adjust the camera until he appeared satisfied, then shifted his attention to two divers ahead of him. These divers emitted a steady stream of bubbles from their regulators as they kicked gently to maintain their position, floating together as though engaged in conversation. Yuri approached them closely, almost seeming to brush against them before moving past and gazing into the distance, where nothing but dark water met his eyes. From deeper depths, more bubbles ascended, indicating the presence of other divers beyond sight. Yuri began to swim in their direction, eventually halting his movements to adjust his camera before commencing his descent. He then redirected his focus towards a diver below, possibly the local guide accompanying him. Glancing upwards, he observed the sunlight penetrating through the water's surface before returning his gaze to what appeared to be the ocean floor. In reality, he was swimming along the inner wall of the hole, where the water was noticeably darker than the surface. The twist in the tale was that Yuri was relying solely on regular air for his dive. As he descended, he would have experienced increasing effects of nitrogen narcosis, compounded by diminishing buoyancy control as pressure mounted. The water's profound darkness only added to the surreal atmosphere of the dive. At that moment, he glanced at his dive computer to gauge his depth, which displayed a reading of 81 meters, or approximately 265 feet. It's worth noting that regular air is not recommended for depths beyond 40 meters, yet he found himself twice as deep. Attempting to inflate his buoyancy control device proved futile due to his depth and the weightiness of his equipment. Despite his efforts to swim upwards, it became increasingly apparent that he was in a dire situation. As Yuri grappled with the terrifying reality unfolding around him, the camera abruptly ceased recording. When Yuri failed to resurface after approximately 40 minutes, it became clear to everyone what had transpired. His parents were promptly notified, with his father arriving in Dahab the following day. After appealing to the locals for assistance in recovering Yuri's body from the depths, Tarek eventually volunteered for the daunting task. At the time, this represented the deepest recovery operation ever attempted. Yuri's lifeless body was eventually located, lying face down, burdened with excessive weight, at a final depth of 91 meters. Additionally, Tarek discovered that Yuri's attempts to increase buoyancy had caused his control device to rupture due to overfilling. His remains were brought to the surface, and all personal effects were returned to his grieving parents, including the camera, unbeknownst to the instructor that it was still operational. The camera, rated for a maximum depth of 75 meters, was presumed to have malfunctioned, leading to the assumption that no footage had been recorded. However, to their dismay, it had captured the entirety of the tragic events, a revelation that unfolded in front of Yuri's grieving parents. The instructor expressed regret, stating that had he known the camera was operational, he would have intentionally flooded it. Ironically, the final 5 seconds of footage were inadvertently recorded the following day during an attempt to assess the camera's functionality. This somber footage now serves as a cautionary tale for aspiring divers, highlighting the perils of scuba diving and cementing itself as the most widely known incident at Dahab's Blue Hole. What's particularly striking about the video is the swift progression of events. In just a few moments, the serene, clear waters transformed into a dark and eerie abyss. Before anyone could comprehend the gravity of the situation, it was already too late. Perhaps it's this deceptive tranquility at the surface that renders the Blue Hole in Dahab so treacherous. The serene conditions belie the true dangers lurking beneath, creating a false sense of security. For those interested in viewing the complete video documenting Yuri's tragic demise, a search for Yuri Lipsky on YouTube will yield the footage. A remarkable discovery. A large blue hole unearthed near Mexico. The exploration of the world's second deepest blue hole has added a fascinating chapter to the enigmatic realm of these natural wonders. With guidance from local fishermen, researchers from Colegio de la Frontera Sur ventured into a tropical estuary off the southeastern coast of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, where they stumbled upon an extraordinary find. A blue hole stretching across 147,000 square feet and plunging a remarkable 900 feet into the depths below. Surprisingly, this newly unearthed blue hole, christened the Tom Jaw Blue Hole by the scientists, is not significantly shallower than the world's largest blue hole, the Dragon Hole in the South China Sea, which descends to approximately 980 feet. The name Tom Jaw, derived from the Mayan language, translates to deep water, paying homage to the hole's profound depths. While the discovery occurred in 2021, it is only recently that the researchers have detailed their findings in a study published in Frontiers in Marine Science. Characterized by a circular opening situated just 15 feet below sea level, the blue hole features steep slopes exceeding 80 degrees, forming a vast conical structure adorned with biofilms, sediments, limestone, and gypsum ledges. Exploring the microbial diversity thriving within these blue holes provides valuable insights into the unique life forms that inhabit this distinctive environment. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, commonly known as NOAA, identifies blue holes as underwater sinkholes formed from karst, a type of calcium carbonate rock. These geological formations are recognized as ecological hotspots due to their unique seawater chemistry. However, our understanding of blue holes is hindered by various accessibility challenges. These may stem from narrow openings or significant depths, as well as limited oxygen levels, rendering exploration hazardous without specialized equipment. Situated below sea level, blue holes feature karst walls that impede tidal flows, resulting in a distinct blend of water properties within. Recent research on the Tom Jaw's Blue Hole reveals substantial variations in water properties influenced by temperature and salinity gradients. Hydrographic profiles depict a stratified water column with a low oxygen layer atop a gas-rich layer, further layered with virtually oxygen-free zones. Despite the presence of hydrogen sulfide, these environments support a unique ecosystem adapted to oxygen-depleted conditions, highlighting the resilience of life in extreme habitats. This intriguing blend of water characteristics and biological diversity beckons scientists to delve into the depths of blue holes, unraveling their mysteries and exploring the potential for life within. Thank you for your attention. For more captivating content, click on the link displayed on your screen. Until next time,